Okay, hey everybody. I'm Dan here, stockmarketmentor.com, and I want to look at Netflix today. Here's why. A lot of times you'll see stocks that gap up. Actually, here's one that comes to mind. They gap up on earnings, and then they never quite give you a chance to get in. You don't buy it on the initial day, and then you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and it just keeps going up and up and up. SMCI, of course, is one of those stocks. That's the most notorious one right now. But if you look back at like ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch, you kind of get the same thing where this stock ramped up on earnings and it never rewarded you. Even if you had said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy on the close. This first day that the stock gapped up and then it ran, I just can't help it. I got to buy the stock. Okay, well, the next day it pulled back almost 5%. That was fine. But you totally chased the stock. You did. You chased the stock. But then you were rewarded by like a 24, 25% gain in the space of a few weeks. So this was one that kind of paid off, right? And then you actually get the same thing here the following quarter, right? The stock gaps up. Even if you bought here, if you'd waited a couple days, you would have got a better deal, but it didn't pull back that much, 3.5%. But then it ultimately ran up what? Almost 10%. This is another time when the stock really kind of didn't give you an opportunity to get in. And it's something that you just have to deal with. And the way this is a little bit different here, but the way I think you deal with it on something like this, because stock was kind of trending lower, you could see what's happening here. It was holding the 200. They were close together. Of course, when the stock ramps up so fast, then everything's going to start twisting to the upside like the 50. But this was actually in a pretty good squeeze, in a pretty good position to move higher. So if you're recognizing that, then you see the breakout, but you go, I can't buy this here. But this is what you do. You say, I can't buy this here. I got to wait for a pullback. But if the stock runs above the high here, which was 30.29. So if the stock runs above the high here, then that tells me that this is going to go. And so that's when you buy. You would actually buy a little bit higher than the stock was, which can seem a little counterintuitive, but trust me, it works, because what you want to do is, this is the sequence. I think that's institutional buying. So I'm going to go ahead and buy. Now, what do I need to know? If I'm wrong as far as the institutional buying, how can I tell that? Well, guess what? It's because the stock starts going lower. And so that didn't happen this time around, and people made a crap ton of money. Now, with Netflix, I'll give you the same exact scenario. The stock gapped up. It kept running. If you had bought it on the gap, you're up 7.5%, but you didn't. I didn't. And so the next thing you do is say, all right, where was this high? This high was on this day up at 79.64. So we'll make this at 80 bucks. I'll say that the next time you want to consider buying the stock should be at $80 and make it 5 cents. And you could say, well, I could buy it now and get a head start. Yeah, well, two things. First of all, we don't know that it's going to break out. But second of all, you're getting a head start by what, 1%? 2%, something like that. So you're taking a lot of risk in order to get an extra 2% if the stock does what you're hoping it's going to do. And I just think that's a bad bet. So the best thing to do on these stocks that gap and get away from you is to just watch them, assess what's going on, wait 3 or 4 days to kind of get a sense of what the range is, and then create a whole new plan for how you're going to trade this stock. So, by the way, this is one of the many things that I'm going to be working on with members in the Mentor Trading Mastery course, which is coming up in early April. So you may want to check that out. You may have received an email, you may not. I'm not really promoting it yet, right now, a little bit here and there, but just keep your eyes open because I think that's going to be a monster course. It's the best one I've ever done. I'm really excited about it. And I hope you are too.